right, we are going to install the PRP oil drain back, or head drain as some people call them, in the RB26. That's kind of the last thing we need to do to the engine before we put it in the car. It's obviously much easier to get to the back of the engine while the engine's not in the car.
Here you can see Shane expertly removing these freeze plugs from the back of the cylinder head. One is for coolant and one is for oil. This is a pretty standard technique, at least if you can get to them this easily. Once you look inside, you'll see that there's a lot of kind of corrosion and buildup in this used cylinder head. So he's going to clean all that out. Start with the Scotch-Brite pad just to make sure that the bores, I guess you could say, are clean. And then he's going to put a little paper towel in there to keep any swarf from going too deep in there. And then he's going to kind of grind any flashing and stuff that's like a little too hard to get out otherwise. So he's going to use a grinder to kind of clean that up a little bit. Next up, we got to drill and tap this hole here. The hole already exists, but it is not the right size and not tapped for 8mm. So we go ahead and do that. And then we give this thing a nice test fit just to make sure everything lines up and the piece fits in there no problem without too much issue. We don't want to be tearing our O-rings, as this is quite difficult to get to once the engine's in the car. Once we know we're all good, we can grease up the O-rings on everything and install all the fittings. It comes with 2 plugs and then 2 AN fittings. Actually, I think it might come with 3 plugs. So in this case, we're not going to use the coolant passage at all. We just want to use it to drain the oil out of the back of the cylinder head and back into the sump. So we're only using 1 fitting and 3 of the plugs.
Alright, you might remember in one of our previous videos on the R32, we got a bunch of hardware zinc plated. So that's our motor mounts zinc plated. We put them in the vapor hone so they look brand new. I'm going to bolt those on now so that I can finish making this hose here, which is an oil drain back hose. So I want to make sure I have the engine mount in place, that way I don't put a hose in the way of anything. I've got the fire foil from XRP. It's like a heat sleeve, radiates heat, protects the hose. Stainless braided hose that I'm using, it's not as critical, but because this is just kind of gonna ride right underneath the turbo manifold and we're gonna have a downpipe running right past it, I figured it was a good idea, little cheap insurance. So I gotta clock this fitting and then give her the crimp. There's my completed hose, all crimped together, heat sleeve, a little bit of safety wire on the ends of the heat sleeve. Cute little Adele clamp there, just so it's not flopping around. All right, current state of the GTR. The engine has been installed. Chris has been doing a lot of after-hours work on this car for me, which I really appreciate. Where do we start here with the updates? Longer throttle body. I got a factory R33 one I'm going to install, because this car came with a like a single throttle way up here, so I got to get rid of the cable they had in there. Remade in USA. Intake manifold we've already spoken about, but it's an awesome piece, so clean, so good. Radium fuel rail, of course. Got the fuel pressure gauge right on the rail, so we have a reference. We have Radium fuel pressure regulator here with the damper built in. That's a pretty cool feature, and we're going to run our fuel pressure sensor here. We put the Radium fuel filter down on the frame rail there. You can kind of see it peeking. And so we still have to plumb all the fuel lines. This is a prototype track spec catch can from Ilaria Tech that we're gonna run on this car. Big capacity for the RBs. Started rerouting some battery cables. Got the Koyo rad that came with the car is in there. Some new silicone hoses here. We're gonna replace those with black ones because that's killing me. Dylan at Powder Coat Express did my timing covers, and we're gonna modify the center garnish and have them do that as well to match. Got some accessories on it. Garrett G3770. We're doing all Wiggins intercooler pipe connections, and we're gonna do some tie piping. Sitting on an R-Tech manifold. The turbo is all plumbed. All the lines are plumbed, which is cool. That's good progress. Brake lines all done down here, stainless brake hard lines using the N1 master cylinder. So that's all fresh, all new, all tidy, looking good. All right, this is what he's got going on so far. Little dump tube with a nice little slash cut. That's titanium. And then downpipe is stainless, and then titanium from here, 3.5 inch all the way back. This car is just going to use one muffler, and it's not much of a muffler. Ticon makes these round, it's like a race style muffler. So obviously minimal body means there's going to be minimal packing material in there. I expect this car to be pretty obnoxious, and so, you know, we're going to see. We can always add another one of these further downstream or something, but for now, just this one muffler in the back of the car. So like I mentioned, the exhaust is going to be 3.5, which is what this is, but I want the tip to be a little bit bigger. So I have some 4-inch scrap laying around. I'm going to make the tip 4-inch and cut this off here, and then I'm going to weld this directly to the body of the muffler. But when I did JR's GTR, which is in another video on our channel, I flared the tip like a border style exhaust from Japan. I thought it was a pretty cool look, so I'm going to try that on this too. We're going to see what it looks like. Product, the exhaust off the car, all welded up. Hanger here off of it with a little gusset plate so we don't tear the thin wall tube. And we use slip fit connections because they offer the most ground clearance. Ticon offers these muffler straps, which are very handy. It allows you to have a little leeway when hanging the muffler. You can weld the hanger directly to the strap in this case. The straps are stainless, so we used a stainless hanger on them. All right, here we are, all bolted on. As you can see, cool thing about titanium exhaust is that you can take a 10-foot long exhaust and just bolt it on the car by yourself. You don't even need any help because it's that light. But fit is really good. Lots of ground clearance here. Really try and do every exhaust here with as much ground clearance as possible. Beautiful job by Chris. And really good fit. There's a factory heat shield here that I have. It was all rusty. We're gonna sand it and paint it. But yeah, really happy with how this thing turned out. Good looking part. Kylie is going to install our BC Racing DS Series coilovers for us. I got
them to custom valve us a set with some custom spring rates that'll be a little more like track oriented. So we're gonna put those on, update these wheels too, and we have some control arms and other suspension bits to install. Let's get to it. Kylie's installing the rear suspension for me, getting rid of this old, whatever the hell that is, stock style strut, and getting rid of some of the stock control arms. We got Nismos to replace the lowers, and I have some, I think the Driftworks rear upper control arms so we can adjust the camber as well. So we'll have toe adjustment, camber adjustment, and just fresh bushings in here. And we'll probably do something about these eventually too, but for now, just getting it on the ground with a new BC coilover that is soon going to replace this ugly thing. These arms, along with the Driftworks arms, came with the car. Pretty good deal. And a little scratched up, but still brand new. So they have the hardened bushings in them. Brand new ball joints. Pretty pumped on that. Nice silver finish. The Driftworks arms are normally orange, but we hit them with the steel at black, so they weren't as much of an eyesore. To spare you another YouTube video with some coilover install in it, we are fast forwarding to where Kylie got our BC Racing DS series coilovers all installed. All this other stuff is going to get cleaned up in the future. The subframe we're going to blast at some point. We'll vapor hone these knuckles so they look fresh aluminum again. But for now, same with the brakes. Don't worry. Every part of the car will get a treatment, but for now, she's going to sit pretty. We have this thing lowered a lot, as you can see. We're going to see if we can make that work. But the BC coilover installed, looking pretty in here against all this other old crap we got. We did put adjustable arms on there, which you can barely see. Those are GK Techs. Gonna put this thing on the ground and roll it off the lift for the first time. Don't mind those ugly brakes. I got actually some cool brakes coming for this thing. Here is roughly what this thing is gonna look like, huh? We're gonna run it as low as we can. So it's crazy how low you can have it. And that's a 30, it's a 285/30. So it's, and then the ground clearance of the car itself is still pretty good. It is very dusty, and the paint on this car is not great to begin with. Could use some clear coat, but we are looking good. Exhaust tip is just the right amount of stick out, I think. That's a wrap for this video. We covered a fair amount of ground since the last video we uploaded on this car. We got the BC coilovers installed. We made a custom titanium exhaust using Ticon material. We got the engine put in the car. All the things that went along with getting that work done. And while this thing is a little ways from running still, we are well on our way to having a badass street and track car. So stay tuned. We're gonna have more updates sooner than later. Next video is probably gonna be titanium intercooler piping, intercooler install, the link ECU, wiring, and plumbing the fuel system, maybe even starting this thing in the next video. So again, thank you for watching. Stay tuned. See you on the next one.